Hello my crafty friends, it's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I am going to be participating in a hop. I am showing you here the products that I'm going to be using. I have my gel press petites, my brayer, a stencil from All in Create, some distress oxides in Kitsch Flamingo and Salvage Patina, some cheap white paint, a stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, which is called Follow the Rainbows, and then a big clear block. And this hop is part of the year-long card hop, and this month our theme was using our gel press and or our brayer. So I opted to use both. So I'm using the petites for the first time, so you want to take the plastic off of that, and you won't replace that second piece of plastic sheet. You could honestly put them in your container without any of the plastic sheets on, because you don't want them to leave bubbles or impressions into your gel plate while they're sitting in the container. So I'm just putting down Distress Oxide. I'm putting down this stencil from All in Create. They're brand new to me. It's like a little floral pattern. And I have taken some of it off using just some scratch paper, and now I'm going to coat it with some white paint, and then I am going to flip this over and put it on my piece of paper. Now the paper that I'm using today is not copy paper, but it's also not thick cardstock. It's probably like 60-pound, this maybe even 40-pound, the stuff that you can kind of get in a bulk pack from Michael's. That's what I'm using right now. And so that one came out pretty light, so I'm going to just do different versions of how I do this. Sometimes I'll use the white paint. Sometimes I will just use the Distress Oxide. I put the Distress Oxide straight down using the circle, and then I will add some stenciling to it after. The gel plate, you can, your heart's content, use your imagination. I prefer to use my brain just went blank. I prefer to use acrylic paint with mine. I do find I have the easiest time if I'm going to be using my bigger gel press. I have a 5x7 and I have an 8x10. So you don't need them all. You don't need multiple ones, but I do find it's easier. Since I have the 5x7, I use that one a little bit more. I was intimidated by the gel press for the longest time, but my friend Allison Haikila is wonderful using the gel press. So I'm going to link her channel down below and her Facebook page, because she is an awesome teacher with how to work with this, especially when it comes to alcohol inks, because that one gives me all sorts of trouble, but I keep trying because she encourages me to keep trying. And that's the other beauty about your gel press. If you don't like a print, you could just die cut some shapes out of it, cut it down, keep adding to it. You could add other stencils on the top of it, or splatter, or whatever you want. Just keep going until it looks how you want it to, or you're happy with it. So that's what I did with a few of these, like that solid circle. You can lay down the solid ink, and then I'm going to go back and add the Kitsch Flamingo with the stencil over the top of it, so that it will stand out. It mixes and makes a nice kind of purpley color. So I did a straight pink one just now, and it didn't lift completely, and that's fine. I kind of like the unique, irregularities of the shapes. That doesn't bother me at all. So I'm going to add this on to one of the other circles so that I can get a mix. And I absolutely love how this one turned out. So in this package, there's a square, there's a circle, and a triangle. I have added my white paint to my glass media mat, because I should have pulled out my other gel plate and added it on there to make it easier to roll out, because I find doing it directly on the petite with the stencil, it's hard to get the right amount. You don't want to have too much paint, but you also want to have enough so that you get good coverage without having to roll too much, because if you're brayering over your project, you could lift up what you have for inked or whatever your medium is, and then you won't get a good pull. So I just added the Kitsch Flamingo to that one and got this really awesome design. So I'm just going to finish that up, and off screen I'm going to cut down this panel. I wanted to make sure I got the portions of the design that I preferred the most of, so that's kind of how I decided how to cut it down. But like I said, it's completely up to you. You could die cut this. You could do a 5x7 card because it's such a large area, because it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I'm using, which is just some lightweight cardstock from my stash. You could use colored cardstock, all sorts of things. At the end of this, I will show you the hoard of backgrounds that I have created with the gel press using all sorts of mediums. There's different types in there, but I need to use them for projects. That is the thing. I find if I am in a slump and I just want to make some random backgrounds, the gel press is a quick and easy way to get multiple backgrounds, real easy, and it's fun. It's good to let loose and just go for it. So I've cut my panel down, and I am going to take the Follow the Rainbow stamp set, the main image of the girl holding the umbrella, and I am going to stamp this 3 times with my Gina K amalgam ink. First time it doesn't look like I stamped it at all, but because I am stamping over Distress Oxides and paint, and I'm sure it needed to dry a little more because we all know me, I'm not very patient and going to wait for something to completely dry. So I did stamp it 3 times. And then the sentiment that I chose is from that same stamp set that says, don't lose hope, brighter days are coming, because our theme was friends. And I think that there are just times where our friends need some encouragement. So I am using just a dry eraser from a big box store just to ease of gliding across the Misty. I don't know if you've seen these Chucky tools that are quite popular that somebody made, Gina K. Amy R. gave this suggestion. It has just a felt bottom, and it just makes gliding over the top of the Misty so much easier. And I know a lot of people who craft have wrist or shoulder issues, and it does make it a little bit easier. So I am going to get my sentiment line down in the corner over that little pink area. And I am going to stamp that down 3 times as well. And then I am going to take a standard card base, an A2 size card base, and because I mixed 2 of these colors and got kind of a purple shade, I thought I would highlight around the card base, and I used Shaded Lilac Distress Oxide for that. So that is what I am going to do next, just to give it a little, so it wasn't white on white. And I'm just showing you how thin that cardstock is right there. It is not any, you can use copy paper, you can use anything. If you want to use your good paper, feel free, but it's not necessary at all. So I'm just going to use my Wool Love sponge here and go around the outside edge. And I wanted it to be uneven and kind of wispy, so that's why I'm not taking any time. I'm just slapping it down. And then I will lay the card panel over the front so you can see what that finished card looks like. You could add some rhinestones and embellishments if you wanted. I kept it pretty simple because I will probably mail this out, and I didn't want to have to add extra postage to it. So here comes my stash of backgrounds. So I'm just going to run through them. This is a hop, and so the next person is going to be listed down below, and I hope that you will check out everyone in the hop just to see what they've created. Like I said, we get a theme and a technique, and it's really fair game, up to us what we want to do. So I can't wait to see what everyone has come up with. They're always different and unique, and I think that's the best part of participating in these kinds of hops. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below. But as always, I hope that you have a great day. This is also put on by the Handmade Happiness group, so I will link them down below as well. Hope you have an awesome day, guys.